natural thing would be that only ना, कि जो भी जन्म ले रहा है उसको ये कमसा मारने वाला है. तो why see somebody being mercilessly killed to death? But नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. Devki and Vasudev know very well that if Krishna has to come as the eighth child, then the other children have to be brought to this material world. So they tolerate that pain, they tolerate that agony, and tolerating that pain and agony, they are bringing one after the other. 6 children are brought. 6 बच्चे हो जाते हैं. Prabhupada gives a very important and very profound analogy. What are these 6 children? These 6 children are like the 6 anarthas in our heart. And when these 6 anarthas are pulled out of the heart, only then the heart is fertile enough to receive the instructions of Sri Guru. To receive the instructions of Sri Guru. Only then Balram ji, who is Adi Guru, Balram ji is Adi Guru. So only then Balram ji can plow the field of the heart and sow the seeds of bhakti so that Krishna can reside in this heart. So that is how the seventh child, is conceived in the womb of Devki. Now we have so many technologies of conceiving children, in vitro fertilization, this, that, and everything. But for Krishna, it was not so difficult and tedious. Krishna just told Yogmaya Shakti that this child who is in the womb of Devki should get transferred to the womb of Rohini. And so Devki's seventh child gets transferred from the womb of Devki to the womb of Rohini. And that is why Balramji's name is also Sankarshan. Sankarshan means one who unites two families. So, Sankarshan, one who's he has come from one womb to another womb. So, Balramji is one who has two mothers officially. He has been in two wombs officially, in the womb of Devki and in the womb of Rohini. So, Balramji is Adi Guru. And as Guru, what is the duty of Guru? To sow the seeds of bhakti so that once the plant of bhakti, the bhakti lata beads, once it is sown in the heart, then the bhakti lata can grow. And as it grows, it is by constant feeding of the bhakti lata beads with Harinam, slowly this bhakti lata grows into a huge plant that can cross all the layers of the material world and penetrate right up to Golok Vrindavan. That is the power of bhakti. And the seed is sown by Sri Guru, and that is Sankarshan, Balramji. And Balramji is then Balramji then takes birth in uh, through the womb of Rohini. Uh, he comes to this material world. So this appearance of Balramji happens on Balram Jayanti on the Purnima. So uh, what happens in Mathura? In Mathura, the news is that Devki had a misconception, as a miscarriage, that the child just died in the womb. So Kamsa is laughing. Kamsa is like, see, the child is scared so much. Krishna is scared so much that before coming only the child died. So Kamsa is very happy. देखो मेरा power कितना है. But actually, he's already transferred to the womb of Devki, and there he's already appeared in Vrindavan. And then we know how after 1 year Krishna takes Krishna takes birth. Now when we say that the Lord takes birth, the Lord does not actually take birth like uh, does not take birth like normal children are born through the womb of the mother. If you read the Krishna book, it's a very beautiful description how Krishna actually enters the heart of Vasudeva and Devki
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Sir, I'm not getting your voice.
नहीं वो कट हो गया डिस्कनेक्ट है obvious I think he is connected.
So, so Krishna is not born like other children are born. Krishna appears. The description is so beautiful. How Krishna appears in the heart of um, Vasudev, then appears in the from the heart of Vasudev. He enters the heart of Devki, and from the womb of Devki, he's there in the womb of Devki, and from the womb of Devki, he just appears as four-handed Narayan. He just appears as four-handed Narayan. In front of Vasudeva and Devki, he is giving darshan as four-handed Narayan. And Vasudeva and Devki are like all prayers. They are going down and but then Devki says, "Oh my Lord, I cannot appreciate you as my child. मैं आपको अपने बच्चे की तरह कैसे देखूंगा इस चतुर्भुज रूप में?" So then Lord Vishnu says, "Okay," and then he appears as Krishna. And then we all know how Krishna says, he tells Vasudev very clearly, just take me to
വോയിസ് ഇല്ലല്ലോ സൂരജ്, വോയിസ് കുറവാണ്,
voice.
സൗണ്ട് കുറവാണ്.
Okay, okay. Just a minute. Now, can you hear me? Yes or no?
സൗണ്ട് ക്ലിയർ അല്ല, ഒട്ടും കേൾക്കണില്ല.
Oh, really? Can the others hear? Yes
Yes,
or no?
yes, sir. It is very
Yes,
clear.
yes, yes. Yes.
Clear for all, sir.
Clear to all? I think Amuma
Yes.
has a problem there. Just phone करके बताओ ना. I think the problem is there in her phone probably.
I'll tell her, don't worry.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay. So Krishna, he appears as 400 Narayan, and from 400 Narayan then he appears as Krishna actually. Now this is one aspect of understanding Krishna Janmashthami. He is appearing as the son of Devaki. But there's another understanding of Krishna Janmashtami. It is if we look at the other appearances, it is Balram Jayanti, Buddha Jayanti. It's only Krishna. It is not Krishna Jayanti. It is called Krishna Janmashtami. Why is it that it is Krishna Janmashtami? ब्रज में इसका अलग अंडरस्टैंडिंग है. There's a separate understanding in Braj. So we look into that aspect of the Braj understanding of Janmashtami. In Braj, they say that Krishna actually took birth from the womb of Yashoda Maya. And there are few texts where there are references on why and how Krishna actually takes birth in Braj through the womb of Yashoda. Because one of the most prominent reasons is that the what do we call it, the knot cutting ceremony जिसमें हम इसको काटते हैं, the connection between the child and the mother, that connection is cut. It is as there is a ceremony for that, and actually this ceremony was performed in Braj on the day of Nandotsav. So if Krishna is not born out of the womb of Yashoda, how is this ceremony being performed? So the understanding is, in Braj they say that Krishna was actually born from the womb of Yashoda Maya. So why is it that Krishna was born from the womb of Yashoda Maya? Because Krishna was so attached, or what we would say was so indebted to Yashoda Maya's motherly affection, that if Yashoda Maya knew that Krishna is born out of me, she would feel incomplete as a mother. So जो प्रेम का आदान प्रदान है, वो प्रेम का आदान प्रदान नहीं होगा अगर यशोदा मैया को पता चला कि कृष्ण मेरे उदर से जन्म नहीं लिए हैं. इसीलिए यशोदा मैया को संतुष्ट करने के लिए भगवान यशोदा के गर्भ से जन्म लेते हैं, इसीलिए कृष्ण जन्माष्टमी है। ब्रज में ये अंडरस्टैंडिंग है कि द लॉर्ड एक्चुअली टेक्स द पेन एंड द ट्रबल of being born out of the womb of Yashoda Maiya just to give pleasure to Yashoda Maiya and to give her that faith and confidence कि ये लड़का मेरे उदर से ही जन्म लिया है. So this is what do we say, the reciprocation of the love of Yashoda Maiya for Krishna. So this is, there are two understandings. So the technical understanding of Krishna being born as Chaturbhuj Roop is given in Krishna book, and the understanding why Krishna is actually born through the womb of Yashoda. And uh, when Vasudev comes to Gokul, the form of Krishna as Devki Nandan Krishna actually merges with Yashoda Nandan Krishna, and the twin sister is taken by Vasudev back to Mathura. So that is the understanding in Braj. Okay. Now, the Lord is born. Now, before the Lord is born, when the Lord appears in the womb of Devki, Kamsa already knows that the Lord is born, or the Lord is going to be born, or he is going to appear soon. Why? क्योंकि जैसे ही भगवान देवकी के गर्भ में आ जाते हैं तो देवकी का चेहरा जो है वो खिल जाता है. She becomes more youthful, more alive. A divine light is already present in the prison house. The entire prison house is lit up. The security guards, everybody realize, oh, this is something divine. It is beyond this material world. कंसा को पहले से ही पता चलता है कि अरे ये तो मेरा काल आ ही गया. दिस इज द सुप्रीम पर्सनैलिटी ऑफ गॉड. कंस को पता है. सो ड्यूरिंग दैट पीरियड, उस वो 8 महीने जो है ना, कंसा इज ऑलवेज एंड कॉन्स्टेंटली मेडिटेटिंग ऑन कृष्णा ओनली. खाते वक्त कृष्णा, पानी पीते वक्त कृष्णा, सोते हैं तो भी कृष्णा. क्यों? ही इज थिंकिंग ऑफ कृष्णा एज हिज एनिमी, बट एक्चुअली he is constantly thinking of Krishna. So in one sense, isn't he Krishna conscious?
No.
Is he Krishna conscious or is he not Krishna conscious? Kamsa. What is your opinion?
Sir, he is actually he is actually thinking Krishna in a wrong way, so he can't be Krishna conscious.
Okay. So he's thinking of Krishna in a wrong way. Okay.
Basically, he's cursing or abusing the Krishna. He's thinking, but on the negative side.
Okay. ठीक है. My question is he Krishna conscious or no?
No.
No. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody to refute this statement? Or I will refute the statement if nobody else does. And I want you to correct me. Anybody wants to refute this statement? Kamsa was not Krishna conscious. Anybody wants to refute this statement? Ritesh Prabhu. Was Kamsa Krishna conscious? Okay. When we say Krishna conscious, it essentially means thinking of Krishna.
Mm,
When you're thinking of Krishna constantly, you're not thinking of anything else. You're thinking of Krishna, and Kamsa was thinking of Krishna 24 by 7. And Krishna is all pure. Krishna is all pure. He is the supreme personality of Godhead. पूर्ण पुरुषोत्तम भगवान, पूर्ण शुद्ध पुरुषोत्तम भगवान है. So then he is achieving what he is supposed to achieve.
Sir, he was thinking, but for what purpose? He was thinking to how to kill Krishna.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm. So,
if I am thinking to how to harm my enemy constantly, so that would not be the consciousness.
right. So the uh, the purpose is to serve Krishna. To serve Krishna. See, Yashoda Maiya also had stick in hand, right? Yashoda Maiya was also thinking of Krishna, and Yashoda Maiya had a stick in her hand and was going to beat Krishna. And we glorify Yashoda Maiya as, oh, great devotee of Lord Krishna. But the whole Damodar Leela is about Yashoda Maiya trying to bind Krishna, tie him up, and Yashoda Maiya trying to beat Krishna. So isn't it that Yashoda Maiya was trying to harm Krishna?
The purpose was different. As a child and as a mother, she was trying to teach Krishna,
Right,
which was quite natural.
which is quite natural. So Krishna is Bhavagrahi Janardana. Krishna is Bhavagrahi. He is looking at the intent more than the activity. The desire more than the physical activity. Is Bhavagrahi. So what is the Bhava behind every activity? So Kamsa's Bhava was not positive. And hence, although because he was constantly thinking of Krishna, Kamsa's life was ultimately getting perfected. And he did achieve perfection because at the time of death, who was sitting on his chest? Krishna was sitting on his chest. And who was he looking at when he was dying? He was looking at Krishna when he was dying. Antakale cha maam evam smaran muktva kalevaram. There is no possibility that Kamsa could think of anybody else but Krishna at the time of death. Because Krishna came as death himself to Kamsa. So he did achieve mukti, but he didn't achieve bhakti. मुक्त हो गए लेकिन भक्ति नहीं मिली. भक्ति कब मिलेगी? जब when without any other desire in our heart we are trying to serve Krishna. Anya abhilasita shunyam jnana karma navritam. um, अन्य अभिलाषिता शून्यम ज्ञान कर्म अनावृतम what was the
अनुकूल्यानुशीलनम
yeah
भक्तिरु
just the last line
भक्तिरुत्तमम्
no before that this the third line
अनुकूल्येन कृष्ण अनुशीलनम
yes anukulena krishna anushilanam it should be anukul not pratikul kamsa was pratikul against the desire of krishna anti krishna although he was thinking of krishna but he was anti krishna so it was not anukul it was pratikul baki everything was there jnana karma anavritam there was no jnana karma in kamsa's heart and he didn't have what was his he was अन्य अभिलाषिता शून्यम also उसको और कुछ नहीं चाहिए था कृष्ण ही चाहिए था but प्रतिकूल totally प्रतिकूल so it was not अनुकूलेन कृष्ण अनुशीलनम भक्तिरुत्तमम and Yashoda Maya had stick in hand but it was anukulena krishna anushilanam completely for the pleasure of krishna and in damodar leela krishna is crying tears and satyavat muni is saying and I'm just meditating on that form of krishna crying tears. Why is satyavat muni saying that I'm meditating on that form of krishna who's crying tears? Because there is a whole section of the Vedas trying to describe how powerful the Supreme Lord Narayana is. How from the pores of his body, every time he's breathing, Mahavishnu is breathing, every time he's breathing, multiple universes are coming out of his body. And as soon as he inhales, all these universes enter back into his body. And each of these universes has a Brahma, each of these universes has another Lord Shiva, and each of these universes has another Garbhodakshay Vishnu. Just imagine Mahavishnu is so powerful. उनके रोम रोम से इतने इतने यूनिवर्सेस निकल रहे हैं और इतने यूनिवर्सेस में से एक यूनिवर्स में जहां ब्रह्मा जी मेडिटेट कर रहे हैं और उसमें से फिर प्लानिटरी सिस्टम्स बनते हैं और उसमें से फिर एक पृथ्वी बनती है और उस पृथ्वी के अंदर वृंदावन है और उस वृंदावन में कृष्ण रो रहे हैं लेकिन ये जो कृष्ण रो रहे हैं वो कृष्ण कौन है ही इज द सोर्स ऑफ महाविष्णु कृष्ण जब प्रकृति का निर्माण करना चाहते हैं भौतिक जगत का निर्माण करना चाहते हैं तो पहले विस्तार करते हैं बलराम जी में फिर बलराम जी विस्तार करते हैं वसुदेव संकर्षण प्रद्युम्न और अनिरुद्ध में फिर वापस वसुदेव में से वसुदेव प्रद्युम्न अनिरुद्ध और संकर्षण होते हैं फिर संकर्षण में से वापस वसुदेव संकर्षण प्रद्युम्न और अनिरुद्ध होते हैं ऐसे 5 एक्सपांशंस होते हैं और लास्ट एक्सपांशन में से संकर्षण में से महाविष्णु आते हैं सो महाविष्णु is an expansion of an expansion of an expansion of an expansion of Krishna. So who is this Krishna who's actually crying tears? He is the all-powerful supreme personality of Godhead. We can't even think of that. We can't even imagine the power of Mahavishnu. What to think of the power of Krishna himself? And what is this Supreme Lord Krishna? What is he doing? In this Prithvi, he comes down, he becomes a small child, and as a small child, he is acting as though he is scared of his mother, whereas Death himself is scared of Krishna. Fear himself is fearful of Krishna. भय स्वयं भयभीत हैं भगवान से, और वो भगवान यशोदा मैया की छड़ी से भयभीत है. इसको समझने में इतनी दिक्कत हो रही है कि बड़े बड़े साधु संत जो तपस्या कर रहे हैं वो समझ नहीं पा रहे हैं कि क्या चल रहा है. और हम सोचते हैं क्या है, छोटा बच्चा है, वो माँ की छड़ी से डर रहा है. बट इट इज नॉट दैट सिंपल. The pastimes that Krishna performs as a small child are more intricate, are more difficult to understand technically than his other pastimes. Why? Because first we have to understand who is this person who is doing these activities. You have to first understand who is that person. Once you understand who is that person, then it becomes really bewildering. अरे बाप रे, ये भगवान है. क्यों इतना कठिन है? क्योंकि ब्रह्मा जी स्वयं विमोहित हो गए. ब्रह्मा जी स्वयं विमोहित हो गए. सारे वेदों का स्तोत्र है ब्रह्मा जी. ही इज द सोर्स ऑफ ऑल द वेदास, ब्रह्मा जी. एंड व्हेन ब्रह्मा जी इज सीइंग दैट कृष्णा इज प्लेइंग विथ हिज कवर्ड बॉयफ्रेंड्स एंड सखाओं के साथ यमुना के तट पे बैठे हैं, अघासुर का वध हो चुका है. वध करने के बाद कृष्ण सोचते हैं कि मैं अभी थोड़ा भोजन कर लेता हूँ मेरे दोस्तों के साथ. और कृष्णा इज जस्ट रिलैक्सिंग with his covered boyfriends, and then he sees Madhumangala has come with buttermilk, and Madhumangal doesn't want to share his buttermilk with anybody. बाकी सब सखाएं अपने अपना डब्बा में से कृष्ण को कोई स्वीट्स दे रहे, कोई पूरी दे रहे, कोई सब्जी दे रहे, लेकिन मधुमंगल को देने का नहीं है. और मधुमंगल क्या करते हैं, झट से जितना छाछ है पूरा अपने मुंह में डाल देते हैं. एक एक बार में पी नहीं पाते हैं तो पूरा मुंह में भर जाता है ऐसा. कृष्णा क्या करते हैं, he just bursts his cheeks out, and Madhumangal spits all that. Madhumangal spits it out on Krishna's face. Actually, Madhumangal is spitting the chance that he has drunk, he's spitting it on Krishna's face. Just imagine. Brahmaji is totally lost. Brahmaji says, this cannot be my worshipable Lord Vishnu. Vishnu is offered Chappan Bhog by Lakshmi Devi and all the Devatas every day. My Lord Vishnu cannot be doing something like this. This is too downtrodden for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. बिल्कुल नहीं हो सकता. तो ब्रह्मा जी टेस्ट करते हैं. क्या करते हैं, ब्रह्मा जी सारे बछड़ों को चुरा लेते हैं, लेके जाते हैं अपने ब्रह्मलोक में, और वापस आते हैं. वापस आते तो सारे बछड़े वही कर रहे हैं, वही कार्य कर रहे हैं, सब कुछ ब्रज में वही सब चल रहा है. देयर इज नो चेंज. देयर इज नो चेंज. Then he goes up again, comes down, goes up again, comes down, completely confused. and then he actually sees what is happening. Krishna has expanded himself, and all the cowherd boys and all the calves are all are all Chaturbudh Vishnu. All of them are Vishnu. And there Brahmaji is completely flabbergasted. He pays his obeisances to Krishna and says, I do not understand who you are. It's beyond my capacity. Beyond my capacity. So understanding Krishna's pastimes is actually beyond our capacity also. We cannot really understand. But we have to try to understand. We have to attempt to understand. And why should we try to understand and attempt to understand? Because that is the process of bhakti. The process of bhakti is trying to understand who is Krishna and trying to understand what is our relationship with Krishna. ये कोशिश करना चाहिए समझने के लिए कि मैं कौन हूं, मेरा भगवान के साथ संबंध क्या है. तो हम जब ये रिलेशनशिप एस्टैब्लिश करेंगे तो ये होगा. और माधव तिथि का पर्पस है कि हम मेहनत करें इस रिलेशनशिप को डेवलप करने का. These special tithis are meant for us to develop that consciousness. And we can develop that consciousness by constantly meditating. If you read the Krishna book, the foreword is by George Harrison. How many of you have read Krishna book? कितनों ने पढ़ा है Krishna book? How many have read? This is the Krishna book. Krishna book कितनों ने पढ़ा है?
मैंने बच्चों का वो कृष्णा बुक पढ़ा है, बट आई डोंट रिमेम्बर एनीथिंग.
But others, बाकी लोग, Krishna the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
मैंने पढ़ा है बहुत शुरू में.
Right. Hitesh Prabhu has read.
नहीं सर, मैंने इसमें 1-2 चैप्टर ही पढ़े हैं बस.
Right. You should actually read right from the beginning, right from the forward. Because Krishna book is nothing but the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, when we read the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said very clearly that you must first read the first 9 cantos of the Bhagavatam and then and only then read the 10th canto. You cannot read the 10th canto without understanding the 9 cantos. Why? Because you cannot appreciate the Lord, the all powerful Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna. You cannot appreciate him if you do not understand the 9 cantos. But it is Prabhupada's mercy that he gives this Presi writing of the 10th canto very, very lucidly. So beautifully he has given the Krishna book that even a neophyte, if he reads the Krishna book, he will understand. He will understand. And that is the power, that is the beauty of Sri Guru. Only Sri Guru can modify, or what do you say, can churn the nectar out of things and give it to the disciple. What is not possible previously is made possible because of the mercy of Sri Guru. So this is one of Prabhupada's unique gifts, the Krishna book. And if you read the Krishna book, automatically that that appreciation of who is Krishna, that appreciation of how to prepare our consciousness automatically comes in. क्योंकि अगर हम भागवत पढ़ने की कोशिश करेंगे तो it becomes a little difficult because Bhagavatam is designed in such a way that in the first 9 cantos, Sukadeva Goswami is preparing the consciousness to understand Krishna. And here Prabhupada is directly giving Krishna. Prabhupada is directly giving Krishna. That is the power of Sri Guru. ब्रह्मांड भ्रमिते कौनो भाग्यवान जीव गुरु कृष्ण प्रसादे पाए भक्ति लता बीज. So Guru and Krishna, दोनों का you have to receive the mercy. Then only Bhakti Lata Bij you can receive. Guru and Krishna both. एक से काम नहीं बनेगा. So that is why celebrating Janmashtami and then celebrating Prabhupada's appearance day, two very powerful festivals. Very powerful festivals. And it is so, what do you say? Gaur Mohan Dey in his house in Calcutta, those who have visited, now ISKCON has got, uh, what do you say, has got,
purchased.
you say, possession, yes, has got possession of Prabhupada's birthplace. So now if you go to Calcutta, you visit ISKCON Calcutta, you can actually go to that place where Prabhupada was actually born. Very special. Why? Because the birthplace of Sri Guru is so important. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to, I don't remember the name of the place, Kachri Gram or something it is, the birthplace of Ishwarapuri. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually took the mud from that place and put it in his potli. And every day he would take a little of that and have it as Charanamrit. Because this is the place where my Guru Sri Ishwarapuri was born. If you go to Calcutta, it's a very special place. Prabhupada is born there. He was brought up there. Many of his pastimes are the school he went to, all that is there. We must understand that as Balram is Adi Guru, Balram ji comes after. बलराम जी कभी आते हैं? बलराम जी आते हैं जब 6 पुत्रों का मृत्यु हो गया तभी आते हैं. And then Balram ji is clearing the field for Krishna to appear. So when we pray to Sri Guru, when we serve Sri Guru, then Sri Guru only can clear the field for Krishna to appear. So actually you have to serve Srila Prabhupada. Serve Sri Guru. Serve Sri Guru means follow the instructions of Sri Guru. Whatever Sri Guru wants you to do, that you must do. And when you do that, then the field is clear for Krishna to appear. So, what is it that Prabhupada wants us to do? What is it that Prabhupada wants us to do? Prabhupada has not asked much. Prabhupada just said, whatever I have given you, please give it to others. Whatever I have taught you, please teach it to others. And Prabhupada kya bole? If you love me, show your love by cooperating with your fellow devotees. Small things that Prabhupada has asked. Of course, the
Read my book.
first instruction is
Please
you
read
chant
my book.
16 rounds and follow the four regulative principles. And Prabhupada says, ISKCON is my body. ISKCON is my body. That means ISKCON is where we must all serve. We all are supposed to, when we serve or when we when we serve in the institute of ISKCON, we are actually serving Prabhupada. So whatever little service we can, whatever little जो भी हम कर सकते हैं, छोटा मोटा जो भी कर सकते हैं, वो करना चाहिए as a service to Prabhupada, because ultimately it's only when Sri Guru and Prabhupada are pleased that our heart can be fertile enough for Krishna to appear. So we must try as far as possible. Once first thing is we must try as much as to read this Krishna book. Actually, the preface, the forward by who has given the forward? Anybody? किसने लिखा है forward? कृष्णा बुक का फॉरवर्ड किसने लिखा है?
George Harrison.
Very good. Yes, George Harrison. Please know, 31st March 1970, George Harrison is 100 times more famous than Shah Rukh Khan and Amitabh Bachchan. Okay, this is the year 1970, 31st March 1970, when he writes this forward. It's a sensation. It's a sensation. And what is the first thing that he writes? First line George Harrison writes is, everyone is searching for Krishna, which is so very true. Everyone is searching for Krishna. Because we as Jivatmas are Anandamayo Bhyasat. We are searching for happiness. बस इतना ही है कि हम समझते नहीं है कि हम आनंद के पीछे हैं, दिव्य आनंद के पीछे हैं. बस हम समझते नहीं है, जानते नहीं है, बट हम आनंद के पीछे ही दौड़ रहे हैं. Because we are eternal Jivatmas. As Jivatmas, we will all search after Krishna only. So, as a matter of preparation for Janmashtami, one thing we can do is, of course, chant our rounds sincerely and read the Krishna book. It is Prabhupada's, it's an immense gift. It's an unparalleled gift that that Prabhupada has given. 10th canto of the Bhagavatam without any qualifications, without any premonitions. That is only Prabhupada. So ये पढ़ना चाहिए, थोड़ा थोड़ा करके पढ़ना चाहिए. जहां से भी पढ़ेंगे, you read it from anywhere, and Prabhupada has given it so well that you read the Krishna book from anywhere, you will be enlightened. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Any questions? कोई प्रश्न है?
Hare Krishna, sir. Sir, uh, what we know at the time of Krishna's birth, Yashoda Maya was unconscious, and then sorry, he comes from the his father comes from Mathura, and he replaced the child.
Correct.
But question arises, who cuts the umbilical cord?
That's the ceremony. The next day there is a ceremony to cut the umbilical cord. That description is there in Garga Samhita and everything. At least Garga Samhita definitely gives that.
I mean to say, sir, without cutting the cord, how can they take the child?
Without cutting the cord, how could the child be taken? Na? There were twin children. दो बच्चे थे. दो. Braj understanding is that there is Krishna and there is Durga और योग माया शक्ति. दो बच्चों का जन्म हुआ था, और जन्म के बाद यशोदा मैया सोई थी, सुप्त अवस्था में थी, मतलब सेमी कॉन्शियस स्टेट, एंड द गर्ल चाइल्ड इज टेकन बाय Vasudev, and Vasudev, that is देवकी नंदन कृष्णा एंड यशोदा नंदन कृष्णा, दे मर्ज, दोनों एक हो जाते हैं. अब कैसे लेके जा सकते हैं? अभी कृष्णा अगर जन्म लेते ही जेल से बाहर निकल के गोकुल आ सकते हैं, यमुना में इतना बाढ़ होते हुए, तो बाकी चीजें तो हो ही सकते हैं. हरे कृष्णा.
एक्चुअली एक बार एक महाराज का मैं ये सुन रहा था कि महाराज ये कह रहे थे कि ये सब कथाओं में आपको एक्चुअली जब भगवत गीता आप जब सुनते हैं तो पूरे तर्क के साथ सुनिए, और जब ये भागवतम या ये जो कथाएं हैं, कह रहे आप सारे तर्क एक तरफ रखना पड़ेंगे.
हाँ, क्योंकि तर्क तभी लगा सकते हैं जब हम भगवान कौन है ये समझ सकते हैं. लेकिन इस बुद्धि से तो ब्रह्मा जी भी समझ नहीं सके कि कृष्ण कौन है. और ब्रह्मा जी के चार मस्त, he had 4 heads, and the most fertile heads in the entire creation is Brahma ji. He couldn't understand Krishna, so what are you and I going to understand Krishna? Not possible.
से एक प्रश्न था प्रभु जी यहाँ कि जैसे इस्कॉन में आने के पहले अंडरस्टैंडिंग यही थी कि भगवान विष्णु सबसे बड़े भगवान है, फिर उनके राम या कृष्ण का अवतार हुआ उनसे. अब क्योंकि अपन ने भगवत गीता पढ़ी इस्कॉन से जुड़ने के बाद में सारा अब मालूम हो गया, पर ये इसका मतलब ये है कि भगवान कृष्ण जो ओरिजिन थे, जो जिनके मतलब सारे महाविष्णु अवतार भी उनके ओरिजिन है, मतलब एज सुप्रीम लॉर्ड खुद उतरे वृंदावन में.
करेक्ट.
पर ऐसा एक
Krishna appears in in every universe once in the day of Brahma. Once in the day of Brahma. That is 432 billion years. Once in 432 billion years, Krishna appears as Krishna himself. Otherwise, there is Yugavatar. There is appearance of an expansion of Mahavishnu will come as Krishna, but not Krishna himself. So here is Krishna himself. So this yuga that we are describing, that happened pastimes that Krishna enacted 5,000 years back in Brajbhumi, it is Krishna himself. It is not an expansion of Garbhodakshay Vishnu as the other incarnations are. That is the understanding.
पर ये है कि बाकी आमजन में यही धारणा है कि यही मिसकॉन्सेप्शन है कि महाविष्णु सुप्रीम लॉर्ड है.
See, even in the Sri Sampradaya, there is, if you look into the Sri Sampradaya, there is no understanding of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at all. There is no understanding only. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is just a great saint who once visited Sri Rangam. That's it. They do not acknowledge only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whereas in Gaudiya Sampradaya, the whole thing revolves around Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Everything actually revolves around Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य राधा कृष्ण नहीं नाही अन्य. यदि गौर न होते तबे के होते जगत जाने तो के. राधा कृष्ण महिमा जगत जाने तो के. So the whole pastime of Sri Krishna doing the Ras Leela and so many other pastimes and everything else, and the intimate relationship of the Brajavasis, all this we are learning through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But in so many other sampradayas, that understanding only is not there. So that understanding only is not there. So Sri Krishna is also like an expansion of Mahavishnu, which happens in other yugas, not in this yuga. This yuga, he is Sri Krishna himself. So वो अंडरस्टैंडिंग इसीलिए है कि इट्स नॉट दैट दे आर रॉन्ग, वो गलत नहीं है. जैसे आप हाथी की पूंछ को हाथ लगाएंगे, हाथी के ट्रंक को हाथ लगाएंगे, तो आप बोलेंगे ये ट्रंक बहुत, इसका टस्क बहुत सुंदर है. यस, टस्क इज वेरी ब्यूटीफुल, बट यू हैव नॉट स्टडीड द एलिफेंट इन एंटायरिटी. So studying the elephant in entirety is different. You need to look at the elephant from that angle, from this angle, from every angle. Then you will understand the elephant in entirety. So understanding Krishna in entirety, you have to look at Krishna, how Krishna looks at himself. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looking at himself. वो सिर्फ गौड़ी वैष्णविज्म में है. So it's not that they are wrong. It is just that their understanding is not complete.
ओके. प्रभु जी, ये जो जस्ट एक 2 मिनट यदि मैंने काफी इनके बारे में सुना है. स्तोका कृष्ण प्रभु, स्तोका कृष्ण दास प्रभु, इनकी डेथ हो गई. आप 2 मिनट उनके बारे में बता सकते हैं?
क्या जानना चाहते हैं आप?
मतलब अब जैसे काफी लोगों ने सुना कि मदन ने बहुत गौर गोपाल प्रभु का वीडियो भी देखा. वो जो प्रभु जी हमारे साथ ट्रेन में जाते, वो भी बता रहे थे कि महाराज पूरे उनके साथ में थे उनके, और बोले कि एकदम मतलब काफी उनको एडमायर कर रहे थे. तो ऐसा क्या था?
तो कृष्ण प्रभु एक्चुअली ब्रह्मचारी थे. For almost 15 years he was in the ashram, and he came from a very simple Maharashtrian background, not very educated. And ऐसा देखा जाए तो कृष्ण प्रभु was not a very he was not a very skilled person in the ashram. और उस समय में जब प्रचार पीक पे चल रहा था, all brahmacharis were preaching in colleges and doing so many other, multitasking चल रहा था राधा गोपीनाथ मंदिर में. गौराम प्रभु एंड रोहिणी नंदन प्रभु, परमहंस प्रभु, राधेश्याम प्रभु, ये सब बड़े बड़े दिग्गज थे मेडिकल कॉलेजेस में, आईआईटी इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेजेस में से आए हुए. और गिने गिने ब्रह्मचारी थे जो पेरिफेरी गांव से आए थे और गोपीनाथ में रुके थे. उसमें से एक थे तो कृष्ण प्रभु. So he was a very simple brahmachari, very simple brahmachari. And बहुत बार because he was simple, बहुत बार डिफिकल्ट टास्क में गड़बड़ हो जाता था. So बहुत बार डांट खाते थे बहुत लोगों से. तो बहुत सालों तक तो बाकी सब ब्रह्मचारी उनकी खिल्ली उड़ाते थे. बट महाराज ऑलवेज अप्रिशिएटेड हिम फॉर हिज सिंप्लिसिटी. ही वॉज अगर कुछ गलती हुई तो मैं गलत हूँ बोलने में हिचकिचाते नहीं थे. He would very straightforwardly come and say, okay, this is my mistake. And Maharaj really admired him for that. तो महाराज बहुत सालों तक तो उनको अपना पर्सनल सर्वेंट करके ही रखे. लेकिन पर्सनल सर्वेंट, महाराज का पर्सनल सर्वेंट मतलब महाराज को इतने सारे काम होते थे, उसमें से एक काम में गड़बड़ हो गया ना तो आगे का शेड्यूल पूरा चौपट हो जाता था. सो फिर बहुत सालों बाद जब महाराज के एक्टिविटीज बहुत ज़्यादा मल्टीप्लाई होने लग गए तो फिर महाराज said that no, somebody else should do this personal assistance. But for many years he served Maharaj as personal assistant. And he was very dear to Maharaj, primarily because he was very simple. कोई भी कुछ भी आके बोल सकते थे उनको, एंड किसी ने गाली भी दिया तो भी कभी बुरा नहीं मानते थे. And after I think 15 years he left the ashram, he got married, and within 1 year of marriage he started developing cough fever. पहले लगा कि ये टीबी था, बाद में जब इन्वेस्टिगेट किए तो पता चला this is he had 4th-degree cancer, lung cancer, which had already spread to the bones and everywhere else. So फिर जब टाइम आया, for almost 3 months or so he was in Bhaktivedanta hospital only because he was paralyzed. वो कैंसर स्प्रेड हो गया था बोन्स में, स्पाइन में स्प्रेड होने की वजह से पूरा पैरालिसिस हो गया था. एंड ही वाज इन द हॉस्पिटल ओनली बिकॉज ही कुडंट मूव, ही कुडंट डू एनीथिंग. But the beauty is that those 3 months when he was totally paralyzed, totally numb, totally dependent on everybody else, people who would come to visit him were amazed because लोग आते थे ये सोच के कि हम इनको थोड़ी सांत्वना देंगे कि डोंट वरी, कृष्णा इज विथ यू, आप चिंता नहीं करो. बिकॉज हिज वाइफ वाज प्रेग्नेंट, शी वाज अबाउट टू डिलीवर इन सम टाइम, एंड हियर पीपल न्यू दैट ही इज गोइंग टू डाई इन एनी टाइम. तो लोग जनरली आते थे ये उनको समझाने के लिए कि आप चिंता नहीं करो, कृष्णा विल टेक केयर, वी आर ऑल देयर. लेकिन उनको मिलने के बाद ऐसा लगता था कि यही हमको समझा रहे हैं कि आप चिंता मत करो, डोंट वरी, प्रे एंड कृष्णा विल बी विथ यू, आई एम प्रेइंग फॉर यू, लाइक दैट. ही वाज सो पॉजिटिव इवन इन दैट मिजरेबल स्टेट कि लोग बेविल्डर हो जाते थे कि इतने पॉजिटिव कैसे हैं. ही नेवर क्राइड, he never, literally never cried. He was in so much pain, but he tolerated that pain as though it was nothing. फिर जब अंतिम समय आ रहा था, उनका बीपी वगैरह डाउन हो रहा था, तो महाराज ने उनसे पूछा कि आपको क्या चाहिए. तो बोले मेरे को एक बार गोपीनाथ देखना है. तो महाराज बोले कि उसको गोपीनाथ ले आओ, जो भी होगा गोपीनाथ में होगा. फिर भक्तिनाथ हॉस्पिटल से गोपीनाथ मंदिर गए। गोपीनाथ मंदिर में जब आए थे तो सारे ब्रह्मचारी जो भी उनकी खिल्ली उड़ाते थे वो सब बैठ के उनके लिए कीर्तन किए। उस दिन गौरांग प्रभु लेट पहुंचे और गौरांग प्रभु बैठे कीर्तन करने के लिए। तो गौरांग प्रभु का जो कुर्ता है ना, वो कुर्ता को ऐसे पुल कर रहे थे। उनके हाथ में ताकत नहीं थी लेकिन कुर्ता को पुल कर रहे थे। क्यों? क्योंकि उनके कुर्ते में बटन नहीं था। तो गौरांग प्रभु वहां रोने लग गए। बहुत कम लोगों ने देखा है गौरांग प्रभु को रोते हुए। गौरांग प्रभु रोने क्यों लग गए? क्योंकि 15 साल जब वो ब्रह्मचर्य आश्रम में थे, गौरांग प्रभु का कुर्ता फट जाता था या बटन निकल जाता था। गौरांग प्रभु अपना कुर्ता निकालते थे, उसको ऐसे घुमाते थे और उनके ऊपर फेंकते थे ऐसे, ए स्टोका, इसको ठीक कर। मतलब लिटरली गौरांग प्रभु शुड ट्रीट हिम लाइक हिज सर्वेंट ओनली। ऐसे घुमा के फेंकते थे, ए स्टोका, इसको ठीक कर। और वहां he was literally lying on his deathbed, but he was looking at Gaurang Prabhu's kurta. वो कुर्ते में बटन नहीं था। So Krishna Prabhu was very dear to everybody. And the way he left his body, next day at around 4 o'clock, he became critical. And all devotees were chanting for him, and Maharaj was there right beside him. 4:30 शंख बजी ना दर्शन खुलने के लिए। जैसे ही शंख बजा, his, his pulse stopped and his heart stopped. So that was, Maharaj said, that is confirmation that so Krishna Prabhu is gone back to Golok Vrindavan. He said this is confirmation that so Krishna has gone home back to Godhead. तो तभी महाराज बोले कि all of you know at least 2 people who belong to Golok Vrindavan. One is Prabhupada and one is Sto Krishna. ऐसे महाराज बोले। So Sto Krishna प्रभु, उनकी वाइफ अभी मीरा रोड में ही रहती हैं। Krishna Priya is the name of his daughter. She's studying in Gopal's Garden School.
Okay.
He was an amazing devotee. और ऐसा है कि उनको कैंसर होने से पहले, जब शादी होने से जस्ट पहले वो बरसन आई कैम्प गए थे। वो श्री जी मंदिर में खड़े थे एंड ही सेज, आई प्रेड टू श्री जी, चाहे जो जो करना है मेरे साथ वो करो, लेकिन इस जन्म में आई वांट टू अचीव परफेक्शन। आपको जो करना है मेरे शरीर के साथ आप कर सकते हैं। आपको कैंसर देना है तो कैंसर दे दो, लेकिन इस जन्म में मुझे परफेक्शन चाहिए। Actually, within a year after his marriage, he got cancer. And he got perfection.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So,
Done.
we should all prepare ourselves for Krishna Janmashthami. Please pray. Pray that our consciousness is in the right, we are in the right mood, the right consciousness. So we keep chanting the holy names, taking shelter of Sri Guru and Gauranga, and pray to Krishna to elevate our consciousness. Whatever level our consciousness is, from that level we should elevate ourselves. Hare Krishna.